Hare Krishna. So Krishna has made it very clear. Those people who deride my form, those people who deride me, they are the ones who will be baffled in all their endeavors, in all their attempts in any field. And they'll be destroyed completely. So this is what is the statement that Krishna made in the previous shloka. Now anticipating a question from Arjuna. Okay, so this is about those people who don't believe in your existence, in you. But what about those who believe you, who have complete faith in you, in your wonderful form? What about them? To answer this question, Krishna is speaking the shloka number 13. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritaah bhajantya ananya manaso Nyatva bhotadim avyayam. So here, now Krishna is going to talk about, he's saying tu, but. He starts with the shloka with but. So, but those people who are not deluded, because he just spoke about people who are deluded. Now he's speaking about, but those people who are not deluded, O Partha, they are Mahatmas, the great souls. Mahatma. And they are the ones Ashritaha, they have taken shelter or they are in the protection of whom? Daivim Prakritim. That is my divine nature or spiritual energy. And how have they come to this level? How have they become Mahatmas? Because Bhajantya Ananya Manaso. All the time they're rendering devotional service unto me. Ananya Manasaha. Without deviating the mind here and there. With one pointed focus, they are rendering devotional service. And then he says, Nyatva bhutadim avyayam. And they are able to do this because they know that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhuta adim, I am the origin. And avyayam, I am inexhaustible. So basically, Krishna is saying, oh Arjuna, those people who are not deluded, those people who have faith in me, they are Mahatmas, they are great souls. A very, very nice and amazing shloka. And this shloka is actually telling us that what all of us have to become in future. What we have to aim at becoming. This is what is very nicely focused here in this particular shloka. So let's see some of the important points. The first sign of the Mahatma is that he is already situated in the divine nature. He is not under the control of material nature. This is the first thing. Who is a Mahatma? Who is beyond the three modes of material nature. How is it possible? Krishna says this in 7th chapter, where he says, Daivi hesha gunamai mama maya duratyaya mam evaye prapadyante mayam etam tarantite. So Krishna is saying, yes, these three modes of material nature, the material nature consisting of three modes, Mama Maya, it is my energy, my illusory potency. And it is Duratyaya, very, very difficult to cross. But Mam Evaye Prapadyante, all those who surrender unto me, Maya Maitam Tarantite, I will take them beyond these three modes of material nature. So these Mahatmas, what is their qualification? They are completely surrendered onto the lotus feet of Krishna, completely surrendered. Since they are completely surrendered, they are beyond the three modes of material nature. So it's a very important point to note. How can we go beyond three modes of material nature? We have to be completely surrendered to Krishna. Being marginal potency, as soon as the living entity is freed from the control of material nature, he is put under the guidance of spiritual nature. That is Daivi Prakriti. So when one is promoted in that way by surrendering to Supreme Personality of Godhead, one attains the stage of great soul or Mahatma. So we are Tathashta Shakti, that is marginal potency. Either we can fall under Bahiranga Shakti, that is we can be under Maya or material energy, or we can take shelter of Antaranga Shakti or spiritual energy. So now when the person is under the three modes of material nature, he is always under or is always controlled by Bahiranga Shakti or the material energy. But as soon as someone surrenders to Krishna, the person gets free from the three modes of material nature and automatically he takes shelter now of Daivi Prakriti or Antaranga Shakti or spiritual energy of the Lord. That's how the Mahatmas, they're always protected by the spiritual energy or the divine nature of Krishna. So we being Tathastha, we always have an option. Should I be under the control of material nature, or better surrender to Krishna and always be under the spiritual nature or the spiritual energy or Antaranga Shakti of Lord Krishna? So it is said that such people actually become Mahatmas, who take shelter of the spiritual energy of the Lord by surrendering to Lord Sri Krishna. Now there are some wonderful qualities of Mahatma given. These qualities we have to imbibe in this human form to attain Krishna. This is very, very important. So there are some points which talks about this. The first one is, the Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna, because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original supreme person, the cause of all causes. He is completely sold out to Krishna. He is completely sold out. He has no other option. He keeps no other option apart from Krishna. It's only Krishna and only Krishna and only Krishna in his life. There's nothing else apart from Krishna. And he has such a firm conviction that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he does not divert his attention towards anything else. So it is said, Ananya Manasaha. His mind is not diverted at all. Ananya, it's completely focused. Ananya Manasaha. In fact, the Mahatmas go to another level. This is the second point, which says that Mahatmas, the pure devotees, are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are not attracted to other features of Krishna, nor are they concerned with any form of a demigod or of a human being. There's a nice pastime from Krishna Leela. The pure devotees of Krishna, the gopis, they were searching for Krishna. And what happened is, Krishna thought, let me trick these devotees of mine. So Krishna, he was hiding, but then he came in front of the pure devotees of the Lord, that is gopis, in four-handed form, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. And the gopis came there, they were searching for Krishna. Krishna kothai, where is Krishna, where is Krishna? And they came to this Vishnu form of the Lord, having four-handed forms. Four-handed form with Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, and all opulence on the body. And the gopis came there, they looked at Vishnu form and they asked Vishnu, have you seen Krishna anywhere? We are searching for him. They were not at all attracted to the beautiful form of Vishnu also. This is called as Ananya Bhakta, who does not deviate even to the other forms of Krishna. Only Krishna, they are in love, complete love with Krishna. They don't want to deviate anywhere else. Now, where is the question of worshipping demigod here? If they are not getting attracted to Vishnu forms, where is the question of worshipping demigod or any mortal being? So, Ananya Bhakta, one-pointed focused devotee who is there, he does not care for anyone else except for Krishna. No question of worshipping demigod, no question of worshipping mortal beings. Forget about anything else. Always only one thing, that is worshipping Krishna, serving Krishna with complete surrender. And here it is said that they meditate only upon Krishna and Krishna consciousness. They are always engaged in unswavering service of Lord in Krishna consciousness. They just want to meditate on Krishna. Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's abode. That is Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, Dham. They are busy meditating on Krishna in various ways. They are always eager to hear about Krishna. They are always eager to speak about Krishna. They are always eager to chant the holy names of Lord Krishna. Always eager, always the hanker for it. And so, is there any interval for hankering? Maybe after 1 hour they'll start hankering? No. All the time, every moment, pratikshana they are aspiring. Every moment they are aspiring, hankering. Now they have a great lalasa for Krishna, Krishna's various attributes. But now, after hearing all this, surely there will be some greed that I also want to become Ananya Bhakta. I also want to become a pure devotee. How can we do that? How can we become a pure devotee? Here is the answer given. Please note this very, very carefully. Such a Mahatma or great soul develops through the association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. There is no other way. only one way to become a pure devotee, one way to become a Mahatma. That is to be in the association of pure devotees, serve them with complete faith and surrender. And if they are pleased with us, if they shower their mercy onto us, we will also become pure devotees. So we have to associate with pure devotees. How? Physically we can associate if they are available, we can go and serve them, we can do various things that they need to please them. And if that's not possible, at least we have to hear their Vani, their speech, their voice through various lectures which are available. We are very fortunate. We have A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, the Senapati Bhakta of Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the pure devotee of the Lord, whose Vani, whose voice is recorded, all his lectures are recorded. How wonderful it is. If we can hear Srila Prabhupada every single day, we are associating with a Mahatma. And if Srila Prabhupada is pleased with us, he will directly make us a Mahatma, or he'll send some other Mahatma in our life and help us to become a Mahatma. So, here, one thing is very clear. If we want to become pure devotees and go back home, back to Godhead, we need the association of pure devotees. Without that, it's not possible. So we should intensely pray to Krishna that, oh Krishna, oh Srila Prabhupada, please send a pure devotee in my life. Intensely we have to pray. And if they sanction, yes, a pure devotee will come and transform our entire life and take us back home, back to Godhead. In this way, Krishna has made it very clear that those souls are great souls. They are Mahatmas who are Ananya Manasa, without deviating, Bhajantya. They are serving me in devotional service. So Krishna has spoken this very nicely. Now there might be a question, can you speak more about the Mahatma? What are their activities? How do they behave? What are the different things that they do? Wait till the next shloka. Let's see that in the next video. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.